somebody is actually looking forward to owning a house.
I was very, very happy when I got the allocation for the house.
Mortgage can actually work in Nigeria.
Hello and good evening. Thanks for joining us on another edition of the program, Everyone Deserves a Home. My name is Aisha Mohammed Ahmed. This program is sponsored by the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria to educate Nigerians on the operations, strides, opportunities, and achievement of the nation's apex mortgage institution. It also highlights the mandate of the bank, which entails collecting and managing the National Housing Fund, providing mortgage facilities for Nigerian workers, among other objectives. In this particular episode, we shall lay a foundation of what the FMBN stands for and then catch up on recent developments within the bank. Join me after this break to fully commence the program. Don't go away. Welcome back. We begin with highlights of major events from the diary of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. In the news, Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria honors FMBN Managing Director at an investiture, and FMBN calls for legislative support to boost mortgage credit growth in Nigeria. This and more after the break.
Improve transparency and accountability in managing the NHF funds. Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria has introduced *219#. *219# is a new way to know the status of your NHF contribution from anywhere. To use this service, dial *219#. Select 1 to update your contact detail. Press 2 to check your contribution status in any month up to the last 5 years. You can also use our mortgage calculator and bulletin board by selecting options 5 and 6 respectively. You can access other services by using direct shortcodes like *219*3# to retrieve your NHF number, *219*4*1# to check your last 5 transactions, and *219*4*2# to check your statement of account. No internet connection required, and it is available on all networks. *219#. Simpler, smarter, faster. Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. Everyone deserves a home.
In recognition of his outstanding contributions to Nigeria's banking and mortgage finance sectors, the Managing Director, Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, Shehu Usman Osidi, has been conferred with an honorary fellowship by the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, CIBN. Osidi received the award during the Institute's 2024 Fellowship Investiture, which took place in Lagos recently. Presenting Osidi to the Chairman, Board of Fellows and Licensed Practitioners, Mr. Dele Alabi, and the President and Chief of Counsel, Professor Pius Deji Olarenwaju, the Registrar and Chief Executive Officer of CIBN, Akin Morakinyo, outlined the MD's numerous achievements that earned him the award.
Alabi Shehu Usman Osidi is a consummate banker with over 30 years of banking experience, during which he worked as branch manager, head marketing in 4 different commercial banks, namely Lion Bank of Nigeria, Diamond Bank PLC, Intercontinental Bank PLC, and Africa Bank Nigeria PLC.
Executive Director, Loans and Mortgage Services, Dr. Muhammad Sani Abdu, and the Executive Director, Finance and Corporate Services, Mr. Ibidapo Odojukan, as well as the Group Head, Internal Audit, Muhammad Jibo Ibrahim, were honored with the Honorary Chartered Institute of Bankers HCIB Award, while the Executive Director, Business Development and Portfolio Management, Mrs. Chinenye Anosike, who was absent during the ceremony, was also virtually conferred with an Honorary Chartered Institute of Bankers Award. Babatope Oyeyinka, the Branch Manager, FMBN Ogun State, was also conferred with Fellow of the Chartered Institute of Bankers FCIB Award. In his address, Governor Abdullahi Sule, who was the special guest of honor at the event, acknowledged that Shehu Osidi is one of Nasarawa State's best ambassadors at the federal level. He affirmed that the award of fellowship conferred on Osidi by the CIBN is well deserved. Governor Sule urged the MD of the FMBN to join hands with the Nasarawa state government towards achieving their dream of housing for all in Nasarawa state. The event, themed Maximizing the Potentials of the Nigerian Economy, Policy Options, Challenges and Prospects, brought together distinguished practitioners and scholars from the banking profession in Nigeria to x-ray the prevailing challenges of the Nigerian economy and propose solutions. The Managing Director, Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, Shehu Usman Osidi, has commended the Association of National Accountants of Nigeria, ANAN, for its pivotal role in navigating through the complexity of financial management in today's world.
I'm truly honored to be part of this prestigious gathering.
He said this in a goodwill message at the opening ceremony of ANAN's 29th annual conference recently. Osidi noted that the conference represents a significant milestone in the collective pursuit of excellence, professional development and advancement of accounting practices in Nigeria. He further highlighted the indispensable role of accountants in Nigeria's economy, which according to him cannot be overstated. He noted that the expertise, diligence, and ethical standards of accountants are crucial in shaping the financial integrity and economic stability of the nation. The managing director also hailed the existing partnership between the FMBN and ANAN, emphasizing that the insights and standards upheld by the association have supported FMBN's efforts at enthroning transparency and accountability in business transactions and improving on standards while dealing with legacy issues.
For me, more than having the legal and institutional framework, we also need.
As a fellow of ANAN, the MD was also a panelist in the first panel discussion, which focused on the topic Financial Transparency and Governance, Building Trust in Public Institutions. The MD in his presentation said, digitalization of processes is the solution to the menace of corruption in public institutions. He urged all accountants to encourage their various institutions to go fully digital. Osidi expressed optimism that the discussions and insights from the conference would not only illuminate the path forward, but also empower the participants to embrace new methodologies, leverage technological advancement, and uphold the ethical standards that define the accounting profession. He concluded by reaffirming FMBN's support for ANAN's initiatives for the success of the two bodies and the growth of Nigeria's economy. Thanks for staying with us. Bridging the housing gap in the country through long-term credit facilities is one of the mandates and priorities of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. In order to achieve this, the FMBN has also explored diverse means of providing houses by engaging in construction so that many more Nigerians can become homeowners. In our next segment, we will take a look at the FMBN, its mandate, and how much effort it is putting in ensuring the availability of houses and mortgages for Nigerians. Stay with us.
Following the Indigenization Act of 1973, the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, FMBN, replaced the Pre-Independence Nigerian Building Society. It has a mandate to, among other things, provide long-term credit facilities to mortgage institutions in Nigeria, mobilize both domestic and offshore funds into the housing sector, link the capital market with the housing industry, establish and operate a viable secondary mortgage market, and collect and administer the National Housing Fund in accordance with the provisions of the NHF Act. More than 50 years after its establishment, the FMBN is doing everything within its means to fulfill its mandate and keep up with the housing needs of Nigerians, launching several products that will benefit all Nigerians in both the formal and informal sectors. Two of the biggest products administered by the FMBN is the National Housing Fund Loan and NHF Individual Construction Loan. For the NHF Mortgage Loan, any Nigerian above the age of 18 who is an NHF contributor can access up to 50 million naira to build their own home and pay over a period of 30 years at 6% interest rate, while the NHF Individual Construction Loan offers the same amount with a repayment period of 15 years and at 7% interest rate. The Rent-to-Own scheme is another product available to NHF contributors seeking an easy, flexible way to own homes without breaking the bank, with repayment period of up to 30 years. The product allows the contributor move into a property and pay monthly to own the home with zero equity at a 7% interest rate. There are other products like the Home Renovation Loan, which offers 1 million naira with a tenor of 5 years and interest rate of only 6%, and for the purpose of renovating or improving existing properties. The Cooperative Housing Development Loan for both the formal and informal sectors is a package designed to accommodate existing cooperatives as well as Nigerians with common goals to form cooperatives so that they can take advantage of housing loans specifically designed by the FMBN. Under this loan scheme, cooperative societies can now acquire land and titles from government and develop housing units with loans from the FMBN for their members. This effectively erases the constraints otherwise faced by the average Nigerian, as well as fulfill the federal government's mass housing scheme. The FMBN is also on the verge of introducing other new products to serve the housing needs of its customers. One of such products is the Nigerians in the Diaspora Mortgage Loan. Others are the Rental Assistance Loan and the Home Improvement Loan for the informal sector, which have only been recently approved by the bank. The responsibility of running with a vision lies on the shoulders of leaders. And on this score, the FMBN counts itself lucky. In February 2024, a new executive management was appointed to drive the affairs of the bank under the leadership of Shehu Osidi, a worthy candidate with consummate passion and requisite experience in the mortgage and housing sector. Other members of the management team are Honorable Mohammed Sani Abdu, Executive Director Loans and Mortgage Services, Ibidapo Odojukon, Executive Director Finance and Corporate Services, and Mrs. Chinenye Anosike, Executive Director Business Development and Portfolio Management. The focus is to transform the bank into a global competitor in the mortgage industry. A 7-point agenda has been carefully considered and adopted to achieve this goal. Items on the agenda include deepening process automation, promoting cost efficiency, enhancing credit quality and reducing non-performing loans, effective project management, expanding strategic partnerships, enthroning a robust organizational employee performance management system, and standardized capacity building and talent management. To actualize the vision of the bank, as well as make a mark for itself, the new management of the bank literally hit the ground running. From meeting with staff to stakeholder engagements, the management of the bank has not relented in putting modalities in place to achieve its mandate.
Like you know, affordability is a function of two variables, cost and income. And in this country, income levels are generally low, so we must be innovative in identifying what are those things we can do to achieve affordability for our target market, who are usually the low and medium income earners.
The new leadership is also ramping up efforts in creating, implementing, and executing projects across the country in order to provide the houses that contributors can access through mortgage loans.
Availability is relative because yes, you can have houses available but are not affordable. And so that is actually the reason the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria ventured into construction financing, because ordinarily we are in the business of providing mortgages, which presupposes that the houses will be standing, and then we provide mortgages for individuals to offtake those houses. But because it is either that the houses are not available, or houses available are not within the threshold of affordability for our target market, we decided to finance construction so we can control the cost at which such houses are delivered.
In the area of loan provision, the race is on. In line with current realities, the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria has increased its maximum loan limit from 15 million naira to 50 million naira as part of efforts to ensure equitable access to decent and affordable housing for all categories of contributors to the NHF scheme.
We are also sustaining the equity reduction regime. Before now, this bank required individuals that are taking mortgage facilities to provide 30% equity. This has now been reduced to 10%, especially for loans of between 5 million and 50 million naira, while loans of 5 million and below attract no equity.
The management of the bank also recently approved the provision of 100 billion naira off-taker guarantee for the Renewed Hope Cities and Estates program.
The development of the Renewed Hope Cities and Estates program is a cardinal program of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, and the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria is proud to be part of this wonderful initiative.
Projects under this special program have already been flagged off across the country. As a catalyst for investment in Nigeria, the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria is thinking outside the box to pursue and explore collaborations with partners from within and outside the country, all in a bid to come up with innovative ways to provide not only the best services for customers of the bank, but also affordable mortgages for all Nigerians desirous of owning their own homes. With the new leadership in place, it's a new dawn for the FMBN as it strives to address the challenges of housing deficit in the country. After all, everyone deserves a home.
One, two. What? Stop! No, people. Don't go back our
Sorry, comrade.
Thank you.
As an up-to-date contributor of the National Housing Fund, I will advise you to just apply straight away for a mortgage loan. Yes, there are several types you could apply for. There is the rent to own a home loan. There is the cooperative loan. There are several of them. Instead of paying so much money to these Shylock landlords.
At the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, everyone deserves a home.
Everyone truly deserves a home. Let's take a look at the home ownership journey of one beneficiary of the NHF scheme as he shares his journey to home ownership. Sit back and enjoy this segment of the program.
I can assure all Nigerians that if you apply, once it is available, you will get.
Definitely the scheme is real.
It's a big testimony to stop paying rent.
Excellent. Seriously excellent.
It works and is real.
This beautiful two-bedroom bungalow belongs to Mr. and Mrs. Richard Emmanuel. They are now homeowners at the FMBN Lape Estate, Karu, Nasarawa State, courtesy of the National Housing Fund scheme. At first, Mr. Richard did not believe in the reality of the National Housing Fund scheme until he became a beneficiary. Richard, who was a realtor, is familiar with the National Housing Fund. He did not let the opportunity slip out of his hands when he heard about the FMBN Lape Housing Estate, which was being constructed at the time.
because of the nature of our work and the level of experience we have in the government's effort to help get affordable housing to people, we registered and got our passbook for the housing contributory scheme, and so after that, we were looking out for products that were available in the market. And when LAPI came up with this product, and they were developing something, we inspected the place, we saw it, and we loved it. And of course, because like I said, being from Nasarawa State myself, so we saw it, and the location was just too good for us. And then we met them at their office and sought to know what to do. And they introduced us to Federal Mortgage Bank, who assisted us to get this house.
Richard Emmanuel, who has lived in the house for 5 years now, got a 2-bedroom semi-detached bungalow at the cost of 6.5 million naira only. He tells us how it feels being a home owner.
One of the first thing you get is a peace of mind, discovering that you really didn't pay for, you really didn't part with so much to own your house, right? And then now that you have the house, you're living in it, and then you are made to liquidate the loan gradually. I mean, it keeps you very focused. As a young man, you'll be able to do a lot of other things together, because you're living in your house and you see a lot of people dreaming of having their own home. And you're already living in your own house, and you parted with not so much, and you are paying it gradually. It's actually a dream come true, and it settles one from a very young age.
For him, buying a house outrightly and paying via mortgage is a much easier arrangement.
You have gotten a house that is already certified. It means you have government title to it. Acquiring a land and processing your title is one hurdle, right? Getting your title and getting your building approval to start up a building is another hurdle. Now, assembling all the professionals that you need to start building your house is another thing entirely. I bet you don't want to experience the challenge on site between yourself and your workmen. You have a lot of stress that has been taken off you by the developer. You understand? It's a whole lot of stress, and so you pay for this amount, and you already have keys to your house. It's a whole stress off.
He describes the NHF scheme as a scheme that gives hope especially to low and medium income earning Nigerians.
This is one product that the government has offered people, especially young people like me, to give them hope, to say yes, we can be better as a people, we can be organized as a people. If you are doubting if this is real or so, please visit the Federal Mortgage Bank at their offices and get some information. I think you can even Google them, check their websites, get more information. These things are as real as your name is.
That's the much we can take on this episode of the program, with hopes you have been more enlightened about the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. Keep a date with us again next week, same time on this station, for another exciting episode of Everyone Deserves a Home, to learn how you too can leverage on the mortgage system to become a home owner. Have a good night.